If you love reading tarot, but you've struggled with the idea of being a typical tarot reader, then I'm so glad you're here because this is hands down the most important video that I've made and probably the most transformative because I'm about to show you a mindset shift that will change the way that you see tarot forever. Now, first, let me tell you a quick story. And now, when I first started reading tarot over 20 years ago, I actually had a lot of resistance to it. In fact, I hid my gifts for so long because I just didn't feel aligned with that typical tarot reader, and something just did not sit intuitively right with me. And so eventually, I started to realize why I felt that way. And that's because of how the world perceives tarot and tarot readers. So tarot readers are supposed to tell you your future, right? I mean, even if that's not how you read tarot, most people expect that when you go and see a tarot reader, that they're going to tell you everything that's going on in your life and everything that's going to happen to you and when. But here's the problem with that. Predicting the future assumes that everything is set in stone. And that's the good and the bad, which means that if your reading predicts something that you don't want, it leaves you feeling powerless to change the situation and fearful about what's going to come up in the future. And even if it is something that you do want, then you might become complacent and you might stop taking action on your goals because you think, yeah, it's fine, it's all going to work out, only to realize that it doesn't. So it's also why tarot gets a bad rap. So some people doubt if tarot even works because the predictions may or may not always come true, right? And others are too scared to even go ahead and have a tarot reading in the first place because they worry that the cards is going to tell them something bad about their future. But here's the thing, when I was reading tarot, I was having a totally different experience. And instead of predicting the future, I discovered a way of reading tarot that allowed me to create the future. And I realized that the power of the future was not in the tarot cards. In fact, it was in me and the people that I read for. The tarot cards themselves were simply there to guide the path towards the desired outcome. So imagine a relationship with tarot where there are no more like good or bad cards because every card is a reflection of a choice, and that's a choice that you get to make. Now imagine instead of being told what I see for you, we discover what you see in your path. And then what if instead of just one future path, we discovered the best path for you? And this is what it means to really create the future with tarot as your guide. And this is what it's like when you share the power of tarot with others. And this is what it's like when we change the way that tarot readers are really seen in the world. And it all comes down to this. Tarot is simply a tool, and it's how you use it that matters. So think of it this way, money is very similar to tarot cards. In fact, like tarot cards, money is made of paper. But it's also a very powerful tool. And while plenty of people use money for greed in the world, there are also many people who use it for good. And tarot cards are exactly the same. It's actually not the tarot cards themselves that make the reading what it is, but it comes down to the reader. Now, tarot cards are just the tool, but it's the reader that determines how that tool will be used. So why aren't more readers taking this beautiful, empowered approach to tarot? Because they're feeling that exact same pressure that I felt when I started reading tarot. I felt like it had to be done in a certain way, and I had to follow that dominant expectation of predicting the future. But it is time to change all that. Now, just like I discovered how to use tarot to create the future, so can you. And there is a learnable path to develop your intuition and expand on your tarot abilities in service of creating a more positive change in the world. And whether you want to read tarot for yourself or you want to start reading for others. And the fact that you are here right now, it tells me that you are likely drawn to this way of reading. And you're not alone, because as the consciousness on our planet is changing, more and more of us are waking up to this realization that we are in control of our own narratives. And more people are drawn to tarot to help them shape their own lives in an empowering way. So to see if this resonates with you, let me ask you this. Do you love reading tarot cards for yourself? And have you discovered a lot of personal guidance in the cards as you've done readings for yourself? Now, if you're nodding yes, that's fantastic, awesome. But now let me ask you this. Do you identify as a tarot reader? Now, some of you do, and that's awesome, but I also know that many of you likely don't. So if you're shaking your head going, no, or maybe you're pausing a little bit on this question, I really want you to explore that. Why do you not identify as a tarot reader? Can you not see yourself as a tarot reader because of the specific and maybe negative, the image that it conjures up in your mind? If you're feeling resistance there, then that's an indicator that there's a massive mindset shift that you need to make. And it tells you that you need to see beyond what you've been taught about what a tarot reader looks like. And you need to start seeing how you can use tarot as a tool for good, to truly help and empower people instead of presenting them with this fixed future outcome that they can't control. Now, if you're ready to make that shift and step into a whole new world of possibility with tarot, then you're in exactly the right place. Because I created the Biddy Tarot Certification Program just for people like you so that we can teach more and more people to become trusted tarot advisors. And tarot advisors are trained to read tarot in a way that truly helps us create the lives that we desire, versus using tarot as purely a predictive, all-knowing tool that can take away our free will. Now, whether you want to just read for yourself or you eventually want to read for others, becoming a trusted tarot advisor is the single best step that you can take on your personal development path. Because not only does it help you increase your intuitive abilities and master the cards, it also creates this dynamic relationship between you and the cards that brings this personal empowerment to every choice that you make. And no matter where you are on your tarot journey or wherever it takes you, it's this style of reading that is bound to change your life and the lives of everyone that you come into contact with, because it shows you a path forward to make massive personal shifts that don't just happen in these typical predictive readings. And that is so powerful. That is how we change the world. Now, I know this might be a lot to take in, but I want to check in with you. Does this new way of reading feel exciting to you? Does it feel expansive and full of possibility? Well, if this mindset shift resonates with you and you want to learn more about how to use tarot to live a more empowered and aligned life, then there is so much more to explore here at Biddy Tarot. And we're here to help you manifest your goals and connect more deeply to yourself through a modern approach to learning the tarot cards. Now, if that lights you up, then I would love to invite you to take the next step in your tarot journey by clicking below. And I hope to see you very soon. Bye for now. Hey, if you loved this video, then make sure you check out this next video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.